Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is the Couch Potato Edition. I found some abandoned building not too far away from here and, brought my couch and just kind of plopped the couch right on down. And, of course, I was thinking about not shaving, keeping the whole 5 o'clock shadow thing going down. And what do you do when you're a couch potato? Well, you gotta eat and drink junky food. And so I made myself a bowl of Cheez-Its right here. And I made myself a little sparkly soda. Ooh, I don't drink soda, so this is about as sparkly as I get. So, I hope you guys are doing well. Of course, if you are catching this and you're unaware of what in the world's going on, well, the main video computer had a meltdown. So, we're actually streaming this from a laptop. It's actually quite, I'm quite impressed with this little laptop that I paid $300 for because I actually have the monitor going over here. I have an attached monitor over on this side. I'm running an HD camera. Green screening, all sorts of stuff. Now, every now and again, my video feed is dropping a little low, so there might be a little bit of stuttery, but not a whole ton. I'm pushing out about 2.5 kilobit per second right now, so that's pretty good. And processors at 53.8%. So we're going to have a look at some news, but before we do that, let's go ahead and see what people are saying there in the comments. So, it looks like Matthew Smith, the wait begins, ha ha ha. Greetings, Highland, still setting up Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10 can take like all day to get going. That's kind of crazy. I try Linux every so often. I come across the feature that sends me back to Windows 10. I'm currently thinking about trying Linux again. Yeah, there you go. One of the things that I find is that while there's no real perfect Linux programs in Linux, there's no perfect programs in Windows either. I've been fighting with a few little things in Dreamweaver and stuff last couple days, but oh well, happens. Let's see. Progress and see how it's going. So far, the chocolatey, not bad. I'm going to use Linux in a VBox, mostly with guest tools enabled. Cool. Testing Mint and VBox, see if an extension in Chrome is fixed. Okay, I use my PC at recliner with a mouse. Controlling just a mouse in Windows is easy, but Linux keyboard is a must-have in some instances. I think it maybe depends on the distro. I don't know, or the desktop, I guess. What environment you're using. Yeah, that's the thing about like the GNOME environment. Like everything's hotkeys, but like, you know, Cinnamon, it behaves just like Windows, so I don't really have a problem with that. But, you know, I mean, you use what you use. Wording out of order, I use TV as TV and monitor and either. Very cool, very cool. Tab mute icon. There you go. I like the way Windows 10 has transparency on some applications now. Yeah, I haven't looked at Windows 10 in a few editions yet. I think I might have the Creators Edition on mine. I don't know. I forget. Let's see. Not sure I'm going to get through all of the back and forth discussion between Highland and Matt, but Bitblocks, greetings. KO260, hello there. Q1 Fiend. Libre Secure, greetings. Did I miss more? I did. Alright, Spin Viking, hello there. World of Linux, greetings. Debian is harder than Ubuntu, and that's a problem. Debian is harder than Ubuntu. Yes, Ubuntu is definitely more user-friendly than is Debian, for sure. But, you know, if you got Debian going, then that's cool. New MX Linux and Zorin, I have not had a look. Hello, Kyrie Holmes. Good evening, Keegan. Hello, Carbon Programmer. Yep, 2 kitties. Yeah, it's static picture. I don't want to try and run 2 HD cameras off this laptop. We're pushing one HD camera on the laptop, that's for sure. Yeah, there might be a little bit of slow movement. I don't know. Every now and again, my feed is not pushing enough data through. But this is actually, I'm not doing too bad because I'm actually on a wireless LAN as well on a 10100 wireless access point. So it's actually performing better than I thought it would. Audio only. I don't know. Cam delay. Let me have a look at what my preview looks like. Let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. Camera looks horrible. I apologize. Camera looks horrible. Let's see if I can do anything about that. Yeah, it wasn't this bad last night, was it? I mean, I did a test of this last night. It wasn't working. It wasn't this bad. Holy moly, that's bad. Maybe it's just running 2 windows, like an extra monitor is doing it. See if I can do anything about that. Let me try this. Whoa, we're getting some bad lag now. Yeah, my stream feed keeps dropping down to nothing. Tell you what I can try here. Here's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try polling the secondary monitor. See what that does. And let's see, what's this recording now? Kilobit rate's back up where it should be. How's the camera feed doing after I did that? Shows peak times, it's cable though. Here's what we're going to do, is I'm going to go over to my website view, and I'm just going to kind of camp out on the website view and see if that helps. The only other thing that I know of that I could possibly do is run the output, drop the output frame rate, but I can't do it while I am actually streaming. So I can't change the video output. The one thing I can probably do is change my camera output. So let me change my camera output to 720. Okay, I'm going to change my camera output to 720 and see if that helps. Audio's good though, so we're just going to go ahead and run with it. Maybe what I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and maybe I'll just max out the, just kind of max out the window, the camera for the news articles. So I apologize for the bad quality if it's still looking bad. It'll probably look better in the playback, but so far it's recording that it's pushing the right kilobit speed. There was a little bit of time it dropped the kilobits. So I'm just going to kind of run with this and just kind of keep it how it is and kind of run myself. Let me actually though fix me. I'm going to, here's what we're going to do actually. We're going to go to this one. And I'm just going to camp out over here, and this might actually help produce a better system. So I won't be able to see myself, but I can see the comments, and we'll have the comments, and we'll have the news articles up simultaneously. So every now and again, I'll pull this up. Yeah, eventually I'll get the computer rebuilt, and when I get the computer rebuilt, then it'll be a little bit better. But anyway, if you come in a little bit late, it's the Couch Potato Edition. So I got my sparklies. I made homemade Cheez-Its. and we're ready for the news. Let's go ahead and jump on in. First, news articles. I spelled corporatocracy wrong. I always do. I don't know how to spell that word. Corporatocracy, privacy, and crypto wars. We're going to be looking at those individual topics. There's a cat behind me, and he sneezed. Hi, Katie. Want to come up here? All right. So I'm monitoring comments. I can't see me. But I think what's going to happen is if you come back and play it later, I'll see if, as long as it comes back and works better later after the video's processed, I'll keep it up. Otherwise, this will just kind of be for the people that just kind of see it. All right, so let's go ahead and start in here with our corporatocracy. The Pfizer CEO, of course, Pfizer keeps on raising and raising and raising and raising drug prices, like so high, average people cannot even afford them anymore. Meanwhile, he gets a 61% pay raise. I didn't get a chance to look into what is the average pay raise going on in his company. I bet that they're on, you know, all of his basic company employees are on either just cost of living adjustments or pay freezes, but at least we're not laying anyone off. You know, but their CEO gets a 61% raise in pay. Now, the reason this happened is they want to keep him on a few more years, and he's reaching retirement age, and so they wanted to pay him $27.9 million so he doesn't retire early. That's kind of his goal. But anyway, 116 drugs prices went up 9.46%. And this is just kind of what's going on in our world. You know, it's just not good. Of course, this is a fun one here. Of course, the FCC passes the net neutrality rules at the behest of the broadband people. Like half of the states in the country banded together in one joint lawsuit to sue them. And so all of the cable lobbyists are coming back in and helping them. It's like we should immediately see a major conflict of interest in this. Why don't we just take Ajit Pai, get him out of office, send him back to work for the ISPs on their payroll instead of our payroll, reverse everything that the guy has done, and then bring in somebody who actually listens to the people. I know that would actually make sense, but, you know, that's just kind of the case. Of course, the big lobbyists are coming in. 12 different lawsuits are all combined into one. I think they should be forced to fight every single one of them separately. Let's just wear them down. And so, of course, promoted comment. This is a good one. My ISP is fighting against net neutrality. I guess I'll just take my business elsewhere. Yep. Yeah, and that's the problem. I have Comcast. I hate Comcast. I don't want Comcast, but I have to have Comcast because it's the only ISP that actually works in this town. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, let's have a look at the comments. Okay. Midnight Owl. Frozen, yeah. Still pictures. What's the best Linux software for learning web design? I would use Bluefish editors, what I use for building websites. Audio only. Linux radio show is fine too. There you go. Greetings, intellectual monk. Vid's frozen, but audio's good. Yep. No video movement. Yeah, I apologize for the bad video. I did an audio test yesterday, but I mean, the things I didn't, the things I'm adding on today is I'm adding on the web browser, which might be the thing interfering with it. Hopefully the other computer's up soon. I'm thinking I may not live stream tomorrow, or if I do, I will have no other articles. I'll do it just like I did last night, which seemed to work okay. So I might live stream like that tomorrow, but I will probably hold off on live streaming again until I get the other computer fixed. Can we restart it? No, it is actually a pain to restart scheduled live streams. And the YouTube does not have a good system in place for just randomly popping up live streams. It doesn't work very well in the Creator Studio system where I like to organize things. So if I just go in and do an impromptu live stream without scheduling the event first, it ends up just causing a big nightmare in my dashboard, and I can't find the video, etc., etc. Versus if it's a scheduled video, then it does that, and I don't think that restarting is actually going to fix anything. So we're just going to run with it. we are in podcast mode. I'm guessing though that after the video's done and it's done processing, it will actually fix itself. I just don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Pfizer CEO needs to go to prison. Yeah. Gift mode. Yes. It is gift mode. Works now. All right. So is everyone else seeing it working now? Video's smoother now. All right. Good. So it looks like dropping the camera to 720p is what I needed to do to make that working right. So hopefully we're good now. And then I pulled out the other monitor, so that's hopefully taking less processor power, things like that. Video's coming absolutely fine now. Very good. Awesome. Very good. Glad it's working now. All right. Next fun thing. If you happen to be somewhere in Iran, you are probably not able to access anything in the App Store now. So Apple bans Iran from the App Store. Seems to be based on your IP address. As if you are in Iran and you are using a VPN, you can still access things. So you can't install new applications. You can't update applications. So that's kind of a challenge. Like, the reason I wanted to include this is in this modern day where we are allowing walled gardens, if the walled garden says you can't go there, you can't go there. And that's kind of part of the problem and part of the challenge that that we have in our modern world, where pretty much, your, in this case, anyone in Iran, they can't publish apps in Iran. They can't access the store anymore in Iran. Basically, an iPhone is useless in Iran, apparently. At least anything dealing with Apple. So that's a lot of the reason why I want to focus on platforms that don't lock me in to certain locations, that don't put me behind walled gardens. So I don't like what Windows is doing with this S mode. And Highland, can you answer me a question? If your Windows computer is on S mode, do you have to create a Microsoft account in order to unlock the S mode? Do you know the answer to that? Have you investigated it? I'd be curious to know. Or anybody else on Windows 10 who's following it. Let me know. All right. Now we get into some fun things. So the former Equifax employee. So, of course, there were 3 Equifax executives that sold stock before releasing this big thing. They are only prosecuting apparently one of them, the CTO. Or is it the CIO? I forget. Whoever Jun Jing is. He was either the CIO or the CTO. I forget which one. But basically, he found out about this late Friday night. He exercised all of the selling stock options he could legally sell. And then they made the announcement early the next morning. And so basically, they are charging him for inside trader, so insider trading. And so I don't recall anything in here looking at pursuing jail time, but they're going to slap him with a few dollars of a fine. So this is what happened when the Equifax people stole all of our data. We have never consented to do business with this company. They scooped it all up. They put it into a database. They refused to secure it. Hackers got in there. They stole everything about all of us, here in the States anyway, and a few other places throughout the world. And then he's just, don't do that again. And that is the type of stuff. If you want to clean up corporate America, take this guy, throw him in jail for the rest of his life, pull every asset away from him, pull all of his assets away from his family that directly related to this, and let them go figure out life like the rest of us. Take this guy and throw his hiney in prison for the rest of his life. And say, this is what happens to executives who do this, who abuse powers. Because you go into a poor neighborhood and you take a young black man who does some minor crime, you want to send him away for 15 years. But the CEO who screws over the entire population of the United States, don't do that again. Keep your millions. Oh, let's see, you profited 700 million. 700 million is your profit. I think if you pay a $10,000 fine, you'll be fine. No, send this guy to jail for a long time. Throw away the key, strip all of his assets away from him, and let them figure it out how to do it on their own. That's how you're going to clean up corporate America. Because there's another one, too. Theranos CEO Holmes and a former president. So 2 executives of this Theranos company. And the Theranos company, what they were doing is doing some form of proprietary blood tests looking for things. They basically analyze, they lied a whole lot about the methodologies, how they're doing things. So they're being investigated again. Of course, their company ended up weaseling, I forget what our numbers are in this one. They rose $700 million from investors. And let's see, complaints charged at Theranos Homes and Balwani claim that Theranos products were deployed by the U.S. Department of Defense on the battlefield in Afghan and on medvac helicopters, and the company would generate more than $100 million in revenue. In truth, the company was never deployed by the Department of Defense and generated a little more than $100,000 in revenue. So basically, they drastically overestimated what their earnings are. And, you know, again, it's just an SEC filing. It's going to be a fine, a pretty small percentage of whatever they had, and then that's going to be about it. So we have 2 major cases of executives screwing over lots of people. Now, of course, the first case with the Equifax, this is hurting a lot of the American people. With this company here, it was mostly VCs that got injured. I expect a much bigger fine on this guy because they screwed over rich people versus on the other guys because that was just the rest of us, you know. And that's just kind of the way that's going. So that's kind of that. Oh yeah, this is just a creepy one. Let's go ahead and I'll just let that thing waft in on you while we look at the rest of the comments there. All right. Please don't talk to me anymore because you are a liar. What? What did I miss? How do I make homemade Cheez-Its? Very carefully and very tastily. Half a cup of flour, an 1/8 a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 a teaspoon of salt, maybe sprinkle in a little bit more salt into that, a tablespoon and a half of coconut oil. Mix that together nicely. Add in about a cup of finely shredded cheese. Stir that together. Add 3 tablespoons of water. Knead that together for a little bit. Roll it very thin with a rolling pin, and then just kind of cut them into your little squares with a pizza cutter. Bake them about 400 degrees for between 5 and 10 minutes. That's how you make Cheez-Its. Pressure most nations' authorities to buy meds from Hong Kong. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Is everything okay? I don't know. I don't know. Let people use whatever operating system they want. Yeah. Let's stop fighting about the Manjaro there in the comments. I tried Manjaro. I had a great experience, but my understanding is that Joe actually attempted to work with developers and did not have a good experience with the people involved. And that's a legitimate reason, you know, because let me tell you, I've been having a fight on my comments sections once again on the elementary videos, go figure, where a guy's sitting here saying, rather than do these whiny videos, instead you should submit bug reports. No, I'm not submitting bug reports to the elitist jerks over there, okay? I don't got any result of bug reports other than people going like, well, did you try this? Did you try that? Did you try that? Did you try that? But if I do a big old whiny video saying why elementary sucks to me, and other people agree with it, maybe the developers will watch it and go, let's evaluate, is there truth or is there not? Let's let them test it. And if the developers would like to know my system stats or anything else, they are more than welcome to contact me. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to waste an hour of my life submitting a bug report. I'm going to do a half hour doing a video. You know, and that's kind of the thing. And that's... You know, I feel the same way. I have no real interest in interacting with some of the communities in Linux. Many of the communities in Linux are elitist jerks. It's the reality. I didn't come to Linux to be a nerd. I came to Linux to do my job. That's what the perspective I take. So use whatever distro works for you. Budgie's better in Solus than any other distro. I had really good experience with Budgie on Manjaro and on Linux Mint. Budgie on Ubuntu on the 1804 beta is not as good. Not as good, I can say. Not necessarily. Every country has government support by pharma companies and medications produced by them available. Yep. Stop fanboying your sister, people. You're just fanboying your sister. Distro. All right. I have 2 systems running Manjaro XFC, and it's fine. Yeah. Like DRM games with no internet connection. Yep. Problem is doctors don't write them in prescriptions because they get commissions and extra perks. Yeah, that's a big problem that we have is, unfortunately, a lot of our medical community, not all of it, but a lot of our medical community has bought the doctors. I mean, many of them do well, but as some people say, for long-term healthcare, United States is one of the worst places to be. For short-term emergencies, I mean, United States is the best place to be. Let's see. Till now, no problems using Manjaro. Community release. Budgie is working pretty nice. And AUR has everything I want. A very lightweight distro for a church drop-in. They have 20-year-old towers and used to run Windows 98. No net browsers needed. Just a few simple games. Bootable off CD. Peppermint, MX, Linux Lite, things come to mind. What's happening? Tom on fire. Just not actually fire. Yeah, I'm not going to try doing fire on this computer. And I don't have my animations. I got to see if I still can find my fire animations. I'm not sure if I still have them. They may not have been in my archives. Did I slip out the word Equifax? I'm sorry. Yes, I meant Equifax. Yeah, aqua bleeps. I don't use that word, though. Guess where Equifax dominates the world. Yep. Yeah, Puppy, Tiny Core might work. Yeah. Am I excited for the new 18 release? I'm not sure. Elementaries are, verdict's not out on that. Midnight Owl says Elementary does suck. To me it does. And to a lot of people. A lot of my community agrees with that. But yeah, I still have people fighting me about it. So, you need to use more of the terminal on Elementary than other user-friendly. That's exactly my problem, is that Elementary doesn't know who it's targeted to. If they want to say it's targeted to new users, then you need to make it so the terminal is not necessary. But as it stands, it's not, and a lot of the people saying Elementary is so great are people that I know live in the terminal. So if you're a person who is used to Linux, who knows how to use Linux, and you're running Elementary, and you're going to be living in the terminal, it's probably a great system. But to say that it's great for a newbie who doesn't know what a terminal is or how it works, it's not. And that's the thing, is that half of their marketing seems to say it's great for new users. However, the people who, a lot of your new users don't care for it. Now, that's not, I mean, some of them do. Some of them do. And so we can't say it completely sucks. It's just, on particular hardware configurations, it may not work as well. And so we need to keep that in mind. Elementary lacks customization. Yes, in fact, when you try and customize it, it breaks. I used terminal, Manjaro a couple times, but I'm trying to learn Linux. Yep. Elementary is dumb-proof so users don't break it. Yeah, but it doesn't work either. You have to get in there and do stuff. I don't know. I have no idea what distros you can play games on. I'm just not a gamer. GNOME has extensions for some customizations. Elementary doesn't. Yeah, Elementary keeps breaking the tweak tools people make for it because they're like, we want stuff to work. Just a rip of a Mac now. I realized the default design I didn't like, but I customized it. I loved it much more. Greetings, Fat Elvis, even though you retracted your message. Did you retract your presence too? Greetings, Dominique. How's it going there? I think you guys have tried many distros for you'll find the best. Pizza, pizza. Greetings, pizza, pizza. All right, we're going to leave our comments right there for now. So the U.S. Spy Lab hopes to geotag every outdoor photo on social media. Well, that's exciting. Notice how they didn't say, we plan to geotag every photo on suspected terrorists' social media. No, they said everybody's social media. This kind of goes back to a project Google was doing not too long ago, where they wanted to identify the location, even if you have geolocation tagging in your photos turned off. They still wanted to be able to actually view those individual photos, like figure out where the photos were from the context clues. There's good applications for this. The same type of thing is used to capture suspected pedophiles. So there's actually a website where you can actually go into hotel rooms, shoot a lot of photos of hotel rooms, and upload to them to their giant database. And then what will happen is the FBI, if they're trying to figure out where suspected child pornography had occurred, they will take photos, because a lot of these rings will meet in hotel rooms. And they will take context clues from hotel rooms. Maybe it's the distance from the bed. Maybe it's this one specific unique picture on a wall, something specific about the wallpaper. And they can track down, even if the metadata is scrubbed off the photo, they can use that database of photos to track down where an event had occurred. And then they can go through to the hotels and grab the records to try and figure out, you know, the perpetrators, et cetera, et cetera. So that type of thing is being used, and that's exact implication here is they're trying to figure out a way to geotag every outdoor photo, regardless of if it uses geotag data or not. And so what's going on here is that a lot of people just by default leave all that location tagging on, and so when most people upload a photo, particularly via a phone or some other type of mobile device, you upload the photo with the geotagged location, and social media kind of knows where it is, so that what will happen is they have a database that will go through, map the basic things out in 3D locations, and then any photo could be applied to that database to look for the location, even if the geotagging is turned off. Now, of course, this is a government program. And of course, according to Finder, which is the application they're looking at, Finder is basically a place utilizing, again, publicly available data in order to map locations to figure out where certain terrorists are. Of course, the danger with one such database like this is that, kitty, kitty, come here. Come here, you. Yeah, there's a kitty kitty. Say hi to peoples. Hello, peoples. You gonna go chase your ghost again? I think he's chasing a ghost. Yeah. You chasing the ghost? You go get that ghost. All right. And so the danger with this is that despite you using this to try and track down a terrorist, you could use this to try and track down a non-terrorist as well. And so it's just that whole thing, it's just a little uncomfortable that the government's working on a program that is going to be able to tag any photo, figure out where any photo is, irregardless of if you have geolocation data on. Of course, they're scanning everything on Facebook, everything on Twitter, everything on Instagram to determine where each photo was taken. That's the system they're using. So, kind of fascinating. These crackers are too good, by the way. These are actually better than real Cheez-Its. When you mention Apple, always call them iMacintology. Yeah, the iMacintologists cannot no longer access their root temple from Iran. It's like it disappeared. Terminal is my home. Randomize it depends on what distros you try. Reason I don't like elementary is because of Pantheon. I think I agree with you. I am not a fan of Pantheon. I'm really not a fan of anything. I don't think elementary looks classy. I think elementary looks like a cheap knockoff of Mac. And I don't think Mac looks particularly fascinating. Some things work for some people, not others. There's no such thing as one system for all. Yeah, there is one system for almost all. That's Windows, and it ain't going good. Home is where the carrot is? Or is that a... What's the name of that character? I don't know. Ubuntu-based systems are best for gaming. Okay. Found out there's an elementary tweak tool. Yes, there are 3 elementary tweak tools. Elementary keeps breaking the access to it. So every new release of elementary, they break the access to the previous tweak tool, and they have to go back and, you know, the people who want the tweak tool have to go back and fix it. That's one of the things I cited as a downside of elementary is looking up fixes for it. Despite the thing doesn't even have an official 1.0 release yet, there are so many different guides out there that are out of date because of the radical changes that has occurred up to this point, which is kind of funny, you know? Cat. Go get that ghost. Literally, the cat is meowing and running up walls, staring, and there's nothing there. The cat is crazy. Yeah, you. You're nutsoid. You're nutsoid. Yes, you are. Go get that ghost. Go find him. Find that ghost. Let's see. Fat Elvis, every message you have is retracted. I mean, is someone holding you hostage? You're trying to scream, but you keep on typing something and they keep on retracting it? What's going on? Greetings, Linux Daily. How are you? Okay, it's great to remove EXIF data when posting online. Yes. Actually, the new Tails that I just identified that was at 3.6, they actually have a program now to scrub metadata from PDFs specifically, which are used by journalists a lot. Pricity, it's no longer there, but it was my first elementary OS. Nope, don't remember it. Looking for gaming distro, look at Steam OS. Yeah, Steam OS takes a lot of beefy resources, though. Remember Jolie OS? That Jolie old Jolie? No, I don't. Weekly lose Roundup. Linux geeks stay focused on topic. Trying, man. I'm trying. Scott here. What have I discussed so far? This new typing ID thing yet? Yeah. New typing ID thing yet? Which is the new typing ID thing? Tittle, that's it. Thank you. The tittle. Isn't a fan of... Yeah, I'm not a fan of elementary. And I'm glad it's there for people that like it, but it's not for me, and I've detailed many places why. It's just I've been embroiled in another debate about it with somebody recently. I'm surprised Mac isn't showing you on elementary OS. Yeah. Is Waterfox slower than normal Firefox since it's based off 56? I don't know. I think it probably is because it doesn't follow the regular route that Quantum does. So I think it is slightly slower, but I'd rather be slightly slower than crazy. Oh, Pizza's holding Fat Elvis hostage. All right, Pizza, let him type. There you go. Now he got something. Too many younglings. Any status of the production PC yet? I will have an update next week. Who's eating all of the messages? I don't know, but I'm eating all of the homemade Cheez-Its. All right. Jump back on over to the news. Is this video stream still looking good? All right. So now, if you are driving an Audi, now, then your car is now communicating with the traffic lights as you drive down Washington, D.C. I mean, what if they start talking about things like, remember those two Facebook chat bots started talking and they invented their own language, and when they finally decoded it, the language said humans must die? What happens if your Audi and the traffic signals start determining that the human behind this vehicle must die? Now, what's going on here is that the traffic light will be able to report to your Audi how long it's going to be before the light changes. You know, why? I mean, really, why? Why does your car need to report in from the traffic light as to how long the light's changing? They said it's going to reduce stress and let people know how long. Oh, what is it? How long it is before the light changes, so I know if I have time to check my email. If you need a device in your car to tell you how long it's going to be before the light changes, you might be a little bit too impatient. I cannot understand what is the purpose of this. Does knowing when the light's going to change green help in any way, shape, or form figure out, like, does it help it change faster? It reminds me, like, you know, when I used to do kids camps years back, you know, we'd get in there and I always put the schedule on the back of the thing. Of course, you carry the watch, just carry your schedule. You got, you know, 6 kids, and every now and again, you'd get a kid in your cabin who is so focused on what time is it and what are we doing next. And eventually it's just like, dude, it doesn't matter what time it is. You're not going home for 4 days. Just stop asking. When it's time for that activity, we'll be there. When it's not, we're not. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. Now, of course, some kids are like that, and so you give them a little bit of credence. And those are the kids that they probably have watches, so you give them a copy of the schedule. Let them have a little bit of it themselves. They can keep tabs on it all themselves. Gives them a little bit of independence. But this just seems to me like this. So now these new Audis that communicate with the lights in Washington, D.C., they'll be able to tell you how long it's going to be before the light changes. Why does it matter? It ain't going to change the light any faster. You shouldn't be doing anything but waiting for the light to change anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I just see no purpose for this. But of course, it is a way for the traffic lights in Washington, D.C. to map and communicate with every single car. They can track down everywhere you're going in the city. Woohoo! That's exciting stuff, isn't it? So beware. This isn't the only city they have this. I think they said, was Dallas one of them? Las Vegas, Dallas, Houston, Palo Alto, Arcadia, Denver, Portland are where these things will generally work. So if you have an Audi, I'd avoid those cities entirely because that's crazy. Yeah. Someone's trying to make passwords obsolete by reading the way you type to ID as the authentic user of your device. Wait. Make passwords obsolete by reading the way you type to ID as the authentic user of your device. That just sounds like a horrible idea. What is Windows Kufar? I have no idea. I used to like elementary. No, I never liked elementary. I did a video about reasons why it might be a distro to try. I'm okay with the fact that some people like elementary, but no, I've actually never liked it myself. It's a Mac clone. I think Mac is a horrible, clumsy, and useless desktop environment. I don't like anything about it. And I have one. I use it every day. I know how it works. Elementary has that look and that feel. It's too minimalistic, and it takes away everything that is Linux. But there's reasons to run it, for sure. And I do have a video talking about using elementary, reasons why you might consider elementary, but no, that's not an endorsement for liking it. That's my opinion, but if you like it, great, you like it. Awesome. I don't. Linux Lite, Zorn Lite I liked, found Thunar file manager difficult and buggy, requires customizing where other FMs work out of the box. Isn't Thunar used in XFCE? I've never had a problem with that. Waterfox is slower. My netbook won't run nearly as well as Firefox. Yeah, and a lot of it's the way the new Firefox runs is a lot faster. I actually put Firefox Quantum on my Surface computer because it's a lower end computer, like according to modern specs, and that's one of my writing computers, and that way, you know, I have a good working browser over there. Greetings, Manish Kumar. How's it going? Waterfox hasn't upgraded to the new Firefox version. I had a lot of problems installing some extensions due to Waterfox current versions being old. Yeah, well, I actually had problems that I have two specific plugins I use for work that will not work on newer versions of Firefox, and I will not replace them with something else because there's nothing else nearly like them. And so that's the reason I installed and turned off auto updates on Waterfox on that computer, so I can always keep Firefox up to date, but Waterfox is the default browser I use for my development stuff. And so, you know, and that for me works out for me. Learned anything about humans? It's how silly messages would be, memes, catchphrases, and pranks. Yep. Lima Peru, the traffic lights tell you how long it will be for the light to change. Yeah, that's something we could do, a non-invasive way. And actually, most cities, you can discern that from watching the walk signals, actually. Suspicious if a person keeps on making long-distance calls speaking another language. Probably. Someone here tested Brave Browser. Highland, didn't you use Brave Browser for a while? Are you still here, and can you comment on that? What I'm doing on my new Ubuntu build is I'm testing using Chromium as my primary and Firefox as my backup, which is a little odd because I've always done it the opposite way, and so it keeps on tripping me up. But I am moving into doing that as a test to see is Chromium better or not. And I gotta say, I still like Firefox better how it works. All of the other issues aside. But speaking, though, of good things Firefox is doing, they are now letting you stop all notification requests. Praise God. Now, you can always do this by going into About Config of your Firefox and disabling the notification pop-ups, which solves that problem. But now they're making it something inside the global settings, so you don't have to go into the About Config to do it. So basically saying, hey, we have realized that pretty much nobody wants their websites to constantly be sitting there popping crap up. Like, does anybody use this? Is anybody on this? Does anybody let websites send you notifications? If so, why? I'm just curious. I'm legitimately curious. I just can't think of a scenario where I want to be sitting here doing whatever, and some website that I have logged into once and I accidentally clicked the notification thing keeps on sending me notifications. I cannot think of anything stupider. Now, of course, I'm a guy that recommends, if you have a smartphone or anything else like that, turn off all notifications except for those necessary for your communication. You know, your text messaging, your phone calls, if you're using something like Signal or WhatsApp for communication or whatever else. Keep those things on. Because that's the purpose of the phone, is communication. But we don't need every app sending you notifications, because what it does is it trains you to look at your phone every single time it beeps. And you don't want that. So this is a good move by Firefox, where they are now put it easy to find inside the settings. Now it's buried right into the preferences. Here's your notifications. You can adjust your settings. And then you can, and this will also allow you to whitelist. So you can global, no requests, but still whitelist any sites that you do want that notification from. This is a good move from Firefox. This is a good one. I really like what they're doing on this one here. So that's just kind of a thought on that. Can't imagine my life without Chromium. In my opinion, Firefox sucks. All right. Traffic signals. Text sells. It's always money, man. All the Audi cars could be blocked. All the streets of Washington in protest for imposing traffic. Just discovered that NVIDIA driver thermal settings can make the desktop flicker if it's set too low. Huh. Can't use Brave, but it's a good browser. All right. Carbon Programmer, I have no idea what you just said. I don't trust Opera, because one of the things they're doing, if you're on Opera, go to Amazon and examine the URL. What you find is that they are injecting their own affiliate link into it. So if you wanted to use the Amazon links that I usually have in my description below, that isn't there right now. But if you use my affiliate link from Amazon and you were to click that link in Opera browser, it would replace my affiliate link with theirs. And you might think you're supporting my channel. You'd really be supporting, not Brave, Opera instead. And they do a lot of other little funky things. Since Opera was bought out by that Chinese company about 2 years ago, it has been really shady. Look into Opera and ask yourself if that's what you want. If you do, if you're okay with what they're doing, for sure, keep using it. But understand, Opera has done a lot of weird, shady stuff since it was bought out by that company a couple years ago. Rock 7 still use Firefox. Pizza beats pizza. Likes Mac, but elementary sucks. All right. Let's see. Dr. Watson, elementary OS isn't elementary. Yes, Thunar's XFCE. All right, I thought so. But Apple, because overpriced stuff. Yep. Pizza, pizza. Let Q1 Fiend go, pizza. Everybody that has a retracted message now, it's pizza's fault. Private message with a link to the article. All right, I'll have a look at it when I can. Hate Apple, but love Mac OS before High Sierra. High Sierra ruined it. Yeah, I wouldn't even upgrade my Mac to High Sierra. I saw the writing on that wall. Mac OS 6. Visually pleasing. Yeah, it's the same thing with iOS 6. I loved iOS 6. iOS 7 looked like a unicorn farted all over my screen. But iOS 6 I loved. In fact, that's the thing that made me, like, when I was looking into tablets. I had a little extra money. I was like, well, I'll look into getting a tablet so I can do websites. Of course, that's when tablets were becoming big. And then you had the website, you know, tons of people were using tablets. People not very common in tablets these days. But back about 5 years ago, like, everybody and their brother had a tablet. And so it was, as a web designer, I kind of had to make sure that websites worked in tablets. And so I was looking for a tablet, and I ended up buying an iPad because I was able to find a good used one in my town. I love that thing. It was pleasing to look at. The thing worked great. Like 0.0 issues. It was awesome. And that's actually why I switched to the iPhone. Because Android was starting to do weird and goofy things. So I switched to the iPhone at that point in time for my phone. And, you know, it was great. But then 7 comes around and they just took every bit of visual appealing out of it. And it just looked like an ugly mess. A horrible, ugly mess. And then, of course, then they lost their QI and everything else. So pretty much Apple, essentially, it's overpriced garbage now. It used to be really good. On their mobile end, at least. Never cared for their operating system for Mac OS, but... South America and having iPhone means status. Yeah, there you go. Pizza, pizza. Let Keegan the Tennessean go, man. Just YouTube notifications for live streams. All right. Greetings, Anna Rita. How's it going there? All right, so, okay, so people are using the notifications just for YouTube stuff. Okay, that's good to know. In the class has iPhone. I bet they did not read or know what the EULA says. Yeah, probably not. I use Firefox 59 and have edited about config blocking all telemetry. Yep. That's exactly what I do on mine, because as much as I am very leery and very suspect of Mozilla right now, in my opinion, I still like Firefox better than I like Chromium. And as long as they give us access to that about config, where I can block telemetry, I can block notifications, I can block geolocation, I can block all that stuff, I'm okay with that. I'm still leery, but, you know. Email and SMS notification there. All right, Rex. All right. Then that's about what I do, and phone calls, of course. Why is auto scroll not enabled by default in Firefox? I have no idea. Three notifications on your phone because it will drive you tons. Yeah, and everything in the world wants notifications on now. Yeah, I mean, as long as you know what Opera does, you're aware of it. If you're aware of it and you're okay with what it's doing, go for it. But just be aware of it. It's the same thing with Windows. You know, I don't hate someone who uses Windows as long as they know what Windows is doing. Maxthon for security. Okay. Well, don't use it for that. Okay. He's on the Opera Mini on the phone. Okay. Agree they do some shady stuff, but only good things. Browser. They have a VPN out of the box. Yes, they have a VPN out of the box. They used to do torrents out of the box, too. I'm not sure if they still do or not. That's actually why I had it on computers for a while. Firefox and WaterFox for Anna Rita. Last time I used Opera was on BlackBerry. What's a BlackBerry? I'm trying to like Elementary. I tried it before, but it's not for me. I'm a guy who likes to customize. Elementary keeps breaking everything after updates. Yep. Watching videos about cubes. Awesome. Yeah, I think when the final release of Cubes 4 comes out, I might rebuild some cube systems. Lamarck likes Chromium better than Firefox. Cool. You like Mozilla? No, I don't like Mozilla. I'm very suspect of Mozilla. Chromium and DuckDuckGo as search. Yeah, it's possible, Robert. I actually have my Chromium set up, start page as my default, but I think DuckDuckGo might be built into Chromium. You just have to go into your settings, search settings, and select it. I think it's there. I can't remember for sure. But I always set start page because that's my favorite. Do you have a list of distributions to test? For what? I'm always playing with new distributions. I do have a list of things I want to look at down the road, yes. Can't watch the stream. I'm sorry. Come back, come back. Okay. Anyway, this is a fun one. ACLU of Northern California demands information on the TSA searches. So what was going on is the TSA was doing searches on domestic airline passengers and most likely of American citizens. So traveling, you know, hop on a plane from State College, fly yourself out to Sacramento, whatever. And yeah, they would want to search your social media, your phone, and all that kind of stuff. Well, ACLU's kind of having a problem with this and asking them to hand over information, and they're kind of not really wanting to do it. And so basically they're just kind of suing them to say, why are you doing illegal searches of people who are United States citizens who are simply going from one end of this country to another? And sure, we get it. People coming in, people going out. We get it. We understand. However, domestic citizens can't search. There are things called, which amendment is that? Fifth Amendment, Fourth Amendment, I forget. My amendments are escaping me at the moment. That prevents illegal searches and seizures, and all of you are going to yell at me about that, but that's okay. So yeah, the lawsuit seeks records from the TSA field office in San Francisco, California, and the TSA headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. In particular, lawsuit seeks records related to policies and procedures or protocols regarding the search of passengers, electronic devices, and equipment used to search, examine, or extract data from passengers' devices, and training of the officers conducting these screenings and searches of electronic devices. That's all important stuff. And so it's kind of interesting to see TSA kind of trying to get out of this, which is just makes them look all the worse, because we're just in this world right now where the government's just too crazy about searching us. But, you know, this is exciting. If you happen to have a kid who's, 8 and up, the Fitbits now has the Fitbit Ace for tracking your little kids. How are these companies getting around COPPA laws? I mean, really. Yeah, they're doing it by saying, yeah, you agree on behalf of your kid. So, anyway, what this does is, of course, all of the basic Fitbit tracker stuff, and then it reports all the information to the kid-friendly View app. And the kid-friendly View app is basically an app that they can see stats and badges to change their clocks. Their clock faces in the app through secure kid view. They can be turned on and off from the family account. It can also be turned on by the pedophile hacker who wants to see what your kid looks like in the shower. Because the thing is designed to be worn 24/7. It's designed to have a long, a week-long battery life. It's designed to be worn day, night, sleeping, waking. It's waterproof, sweatproof, all this kind of stuff. They want this type of stuff on our persons at all times. That is the goal of these devices. And it is the worst devices you can possibly have. So, just a reminder, Fitbits aren't good. They're tracking all this data. They're storing all of your data, all of your biometric health data. And what if their exit strategy is simply to sell it to the highest bidding company? And what if that company ends up being a health insurance company who now wants to jack up your rates because you're not exercising as much as they want you to? Maybe they see that you're not sleeping as much as they think you should, and so they think that that's bad. That's the thing, is that this thing, look what this thing does. This is the kid app. Let me increase the size of this again. Activity tracking tracks your child's daily steps and active minutes. Step challenge. Kids can stay motivated by challenging others to step competitions in the fitness app. Is that just family or other people too? Sleep tracking. ACE tracks your child's sleep duration, sheds light on their Z's, and encourages good bedtime habits. Clock faces. With 10 fun clock face digital designs that show the date, time, goal progress, and more, kids can choose their favorite style. Track progress. Ace automatically syncs to iOS and Android devices so you can track your child's activity trends over time and see how small steps make a big impact. Rewards and badges acknowledges goals and milestones with fun celebration and messages and badges. It is shower-proof. From puddle jumping to lunchtime spills, Ace can handle whatever your kids get into. Fitbit app. Parent view. Parents can set up a family account and then create an account for their child where they can view activity and progress. Notifications. Kid who owns a smartphone can receive call notifications on their wrists. Works with select devices when the phone is nearby. Sets activity goals. With customizable step and activity goals, Ace gets kids moving and makes it fun. Up to 5 days, so kids can spend less time charging and more time moving. The app Kid View we already looked at, and the reminders to move. Turn on reminders to move notifications for friendly on-screen messages that encourages your kids to constantly be attached to notifications, 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 notifications. I'm going to eat Cheez-Its. It's not good for my health. I really wish my Tom on Fire was working. Yeah. DuckDuckGo is cool. I often use the internet instead of Google. Use Bing for porn. No, that'd be a bad idea. Linux Mint never stops working after updates. Yep. Pizza, pizza. Let Joe Johnson go. Stop kidnapping my viewers. The only thing I like on Opera is the nostalgia. A long time ago on Nintendo Wii, I was Opera powered, and I remember when I was young and discovered YouTube for the first time. Nice. You were young in 2007? Man, I'm getting old. I was a college professor in 2007. No, Rex7, Start Page is a much better search engine for privacy stuff. Startpage.com. This is my default search engine on all my browsers. It basically it utilizes the Google algorithm, but it doesn't send the data to Google. Of course, Google is still the best at providing search results. That's what makes Startpage good, is that it gives you Google results without tracking it onto an individual profile. It uses everything through proxy. Let's see, a Spin Viking. Fourth Amendment, thanks. Firefox, when I select some random text, can't search that. Google search by mouse, right-click button. Wait. Huh. I've never known that was a function. Yeah, I'm not going to read that comment. But I concur. I concur. Legal searches on domestic flights sure way hurt aviation industry. Yep. Actually, Gail, they are working on ways to hack people's minds. So yes, it is possible. The safest distro is something insecure, or something so obscure they don't use it. Security by obscurity. There you go. Take a shower and not wear anything. Now they want to track everything. Yep. Yep. Uh-oh, the nameless one says DuckDuckGo is superior. I mean, I can't tell how much superior. I just think that their style is so horrible. I mean, it's getting slowly better, but I just can't. I can't figure out where one thing begins and where another thing ends. On DuckDuckGo, everything bleeds together. I can't even tell you how good the search is. I can't get over the look of it. Why would you like that tracking device? Wouldn't smartphone suffice? Yeah. Except I can forget my smartphone. Yes. We need to tell people that they are letting the internet see their child. And that is a downside. That's why Germany has banned a lot of these types of things. Fitbit isn't tracking how long you spend in the bathroom. I'm sure it is. Have I been notified? I don't know. Notifications could take a hike. Yep. Yeah, what would happen if the internet stopped working for a week? Ever watch the programs where people went on like an internet fast? Those are fascinating. I would not trust the VPN built into Opera because I'm not sure I trust Opera itself. Yes. Facebook has a VPN. Facebook also now has a new wireless system. That's the app they're putting up this week, is a new wireless application. Make a Cheez-It video on the cooking channel. Yes, pizza, it is on the list. Wonder what it would take to make pizza flavored Cheez-Its. I'll think about that. Hack people's mind. Tell your cat to beam us out. Yep. Oh, there he is. Kitty's over there. He's chilling. He's over here. Greetings, Shutter. How's it going there? All right, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, two things on cryptocurrency. First is we're starting to see, of course, a trend where cryptocurrency miners are like, hey, let's figure out where the cheapest electricity is and go set up shop over there. And so they found a few places in New York next to hydroelectric dams. They're like, wow, this is really cheap. And so what happens, though, is that in those places, like Plattsburgh is one of them, Plattsburgh, New York. So basically the electricity there for the citizens is really cheap because the hydroelectric dam makes a whole lot. And then when they've exceeded the amount of internet or the amount of electricity production, then the electricity rates go up as they have to buy electricity from other places. So what happens, a bunch of cryptocurrency miners came in and they scooped up every bit of the power and caused everybody's bill across the town to shoot sky high. And so basically New York is working on, I think it's some local municipalities to charge cryptocurrency miners a whole lot extra, or totally ban them entirely. And so we're starting to see a lot of this type of stuff. My personal opinion, I think cryptocurrency is what's going to destroy this world right now. I mean, really. I mean, according to, like Pizza had some relatives in the industry who said that what you're doing when you're mining cryptocurrency is allowing your computer to work on decrypting encryption stuff. And if that's true, basically mining Bitcoin, mining cryptocurrencies is helping hackers break into things. Well, that's bad. Now, we can't find graphics cards because they're being soaked off the market by cryptocurrency mining operations. And then we have the case where they're eating up electricity. I mean, people talking about whining about electricity. Why in the world are the Green Planet, Save Electricity freaks not all over this stuff right now? I use freaks in the nicest possible term. We want to talk about saving electricity. why don't we talk about cryptocurrency? Why don't we stop all this mining cryptocurrency because it's costing billions in electrical uses alone, which drives up the cost for everybody else. It drives up the cost for everything else. So, of course, causing problems in big and small towns alike. So we're getting those. And then, of course, Google now is restricting ads related to this. So you can't sell an ad with cryptocurrency. Let's go ahead and boost this up so you can read it a little bit better. And I can read it a little bit better from way back here. In June, Google will update the financial services policy, restrict the advertisement of contracts for difference, rolling spot forex, and financial spread betting. In addition to ads, follow will no longer be allowed on the service. Binary options and synonymous products, cryptocurrencies, and related content, including but not limited to initial coin offerings, cryptocurrency exchanges. So in other words, like Coinbase can't advertise on Google. That's kind of what it boils down to. Ads on aggregators for affiliates will no longer be allowed to serve contracts for difference, rolling spot forex, financial spread betting, etc. One thing though, reading all this stuff, you know, they're not seeming to do anything. They're not seeming to do anything about the ads that are pushing cryptocurrency. That's why if you check out switchtolinux.com/privacy-resources, you can download my host file, which blocks a lot of bad stuff on the internet, including all of the known coin hive miners that I know, which is Coin Hive and another one, I forget what that is. It also blocks all the session replay, so it prevents companies from tracking what you're doing as you're on their websites, things like that. And so that's the thing is, we need to do something about the cryptocurrency. It is going to destroy the technical world. It's going to destroy the electricity, and it's consuming more resources than you can possibly shake a stick at because of that. All right, let's see our final comments here. Google is certainly accumulating a lot of power. You can control the information, control the population. Yep, I agree. I think Google should be broken up, honestly. Pizza flavored chip, Intel or AMD? AMD. I'm going with AMD. No. Smartphone is Chinese, right? AMD, since they're being friendly with their GPUs, I'd rather support them. Yep. Voldemort has spoken. He's nameless. Or I guess there's a difference between nameless and he who should not be named, right? If I've ever bought Bitcoins, it was $1. Today I was rich. Let cryptocurrencies die or just let it die and GPUs will be affordable again. Yep. Think it can destroy the entire world economy? Probably. Making me hungry. Stop it. Cheez-Its. They're homemade Cheez-Its, too. Made with real cheese. And I know mine are made with real cheese because I put the cheese in there. Tom coins. Woohoo! More of a gold and silver guy. Crypto has privacy issues, yep. Make good GPUs rare these days, yep. It's got to fit their agenda before they'll protest. Yeah, I'm with you here. Here, they tell people to shut down lights, yet office buildings have all their lights on all night long. Yep. Anyways, bothered seeing Tom munching. Debian installer gives the choice to create a root password. If not, root is disabled and sudo is enabled for the normal user account. Just preferred. Well, to keep it the most secured, I would probably set the root password and remove your main user from the sudo group if it adds. I can't remember if it does. And I think it, I can't remember how I have mine set up. But my computer, my Debian computer stays behind a really beefy firewall. So I'm generally okay with that. The best thing to do, I would say, though, is probably create the separate root password and make sure your main user is not in the sudo group. Yes, I'm eating cat treats. They're very good. AMD is the microcode, not open source, but Intel is. I don't know. Look up where to put the host file in MX Linux and do it. It's the same across all Linux and Mac. It's Etsy. It's Etsy hosts. So do a sudo nano /etc/hosts. Late to the party. Yep. Eating. I got my fizzy drink. Won't be a couch potato tonight. Time to hit the map. Software available for MX on the MX package installer for AdBlock. Yes. Yeah, those are good ones too. Peppermint also has one. Those are really good because they stay more up to date than mine does for sure. I think Linus Teptix may have covered Ingredia thing. Oh, okay. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this guy up. So I'm gonna go back up to. Whoa, hold on. I gotta fix my screen there. There we are. Woohoo! We're gonna go back onto the couch. Actually, let me get rid of that. Let me go up to here. Do this. Get rid of the title. There we are. And now we're on the couch. Because I'm going to do my final call for comments here. And we're going to go ahead and feed the kitty. Yeah, you. Oh, yeah, kitty. Oh, yeah, kitty. Come on. Up here. Up here, buddy. Come on. Up here. Come on. Up here. Come on. Come on to the couch. Come on. You got to be a couch potato up here. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, I got a couple of them over here now. Oh yeah. Oh, we got to make it cuter for the people on camera, buddy. Over here, buddy. Over here for the people on camera. There you go. And here's another one for you. Oh, I got one more for each of you. Oh, you're going for it, aren't you? You're going for it. You're going for it. All right, there you go, and there you go. There you go. You want a finger looking good? Are they good? Yeah? I'm afraid of the other one, the camera shy kitty. I'm afraid that she's actually going to, like, bite my hand or something if I let her. This guy over here, come on. You don't say hi to the people enough. Say hi to the peoples. This is the talkative one. Say hi. Want to say hi? Say hi. No, just a little bit. Right in the microphone. Hello, today in the news. Really? Yeah, you're a cute one, aren't you? Yes, you are. She's actually got the cuter face. The other one's cuter in his mannerisms. She's got the cuter face. Yeah. All right. All right, let's see. Host file worked perfectly in my Mint, but it froze my Windows. I have noticed one or two issues with it in Windows. It seems to be related to if the Windows has a backported telemetry, it seems to have a problem. I have not had any problems on a Windows computer that does not. But when I put that on my Surface, it did mess up the internet on that. I had to get it out. I don't know why. Might be worth looking into, but I have no earthly idea what's going on. Anyone else have a problem with that in Windows? Couch potato level stuff. Now, my fizzy drink, though, because I don't drink soda, this is purified water. I put in, I think, 3 or 4 drops of orange essential oil, and I carbonated it. So essentially, it's actually kind of like the stuff like on the label. Basically, if you get like the sparkling stuff, not the stuff that has that aspartame poison in it, but this is the stuff that's just water, a little bit of flavor, and carbonation. So that's what I make that at home. Is what I do with it. And I have a couple more Cheez-Its left. Let me wrap up the Cheez-Its too. Cheez-Its are homemade. In case you came on late, you can make homemade Cheez-Its. Half a cup of flour, about an eighth a teaspoon of baking powder, eighth a teaspoon of salt. Mix in about a cup of finely shredded cheese. Stir all that around with a 1.5 teaspoon, of coconut oil. Do everything except the cheese first. Get the coconut oil mixed in smoothly, and then add your cheese. Mix that together with 3 tablespoons of water. Roll it out thin with a rolling pin. Put it on a cookie sheet, and then I just cut it with a pizza cutter into little squares. Bake it 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. $41 in Alaska. Yeah, it's not that warm here. I need a new home. Yeah, my home is starting to fall apart. It's a little dilapidated, but, you know. I mean, I just dragged the couch over here, so. No, I'm in some abandoned building. $26 in the Poconos. What are the cats' names? TJ is the cute one, and CJ is the one you always see on the camera. No, it's not a backyard shed. It's an abandoned house. It's all torn up and stuff. Meow. Windows? What's that? I thought windows are the things inside cars. Ooh, look at that. Down here it looks better. Up here, because I don't have the light filter on, I'm like turning alien. Look at that. I'm beaming up to Mars. All right. All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right about here. Let's see if I can find my stats. Something is messed up in my stats because it says I've only been streaming for about 49 minutes, but I've been streaming a whole lot longer than that. It looks like we had a peak concurrent of 51 with 38 on total right now. If those numbers are to be believed, and I'm not sure if they are because I have been live a whole lot longer than that. Let me refresh the page and see if that tells me something different. Hey, that updated things. All right. All right, folks. Well, I will catch you guys later, and I may or may not stream tomorrow. I don't know, and I'll give you guys an update on new computers when I get that part figured out. So we will catch you guys later.